Are you guys having fun at this convention yet? Alright, just so you know, I have tried for many, many years to get this young lady to come here, and finally she is here. So, without further ado, please put your hands together for Miss Jeri Ryan. Nice.
Hi! So yeah, it's my first Dragon Con.
I told her for years, I go, you gotta come to Dragon Con.
It's true, it's all true.
Right?
It's true.
And now you're here.
I'm here.
7 and Kim. Yeah. Just so people know, people always ask me on Twitter, like, why does she call you Gooby? I said, it's a term of endearment. What does Gooby mean? It's a term of endearment.
It's short for goober. It's not actually short, it's about 2 syllables. But it's just, you know, it's a nickname of the nickname.
Exactly. Gooby, goober, it's just sort of like, hey. And I remember she would call me that, and there was one day I walk into the hair trailer, and I see her talking to Robert Beltran. And she goes, anyway, so Goober, I went, oh! I'm Goober! What are you doing? She goes, okay, fine. You're Goober number 1, Robert Beltran's Goober number 2. So that was cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
My boys.
Yes. But it was just, I'll tell you right now, I was so happy when she accepted to come to Dragon Con because I honestly believe this is the best convention in the world. So. And to have the lovely Miss Jeri Ryan. And we share the same birth year in that we're both Year of the Monkey, and your monkeys are awesome people to be around.
Dance monkey dance.
We are. Dance, exactly. We like to have fun, we like to joke around. And if you get a chance to go by to see Jeri Ryan at her table, when she's not doing her talks or whatnot, she will be at the Walk of Fame. Come up and feel free to say hello. She won't bite. She's very, very...
Well, probably won't bite. I can't guarantee that I won't bite, but I probably.
Some people may like that, so good. But we're actually, so she'll be there for the extent of, until what, Sunday? And then you leave Sunday.
Yeah,
so
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right, so tomorrow and Sunday they get a chance to come by and say hello to Jeri in person. All right, so why don't we start with questions, yeah? Should we go to the right side here? I don't even know where we're looking right now, but somewhere over there. Yes? Maybe not?
There are no questions. So that was so great. You guys
All right, let's go.
so much.
Well, I can, if you want to line up on each side, you can actually ask a question.
Somebody's waving their hand back.
Okay, they can wave their hand.
Do they have to have a microphone, or is a microphone going to do that? Oh, somebody has a microphone.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Okay.
They hear me.
There you are. Hi.
So I guess your first ever Dragon Con question will be, so since your introduction to the show, you got used very heavily in terms of the E-plot for a lot of episodes, pretty much right away. Mm-hmm. And as kind of the new kid on the block, did you have any burnout moments or close to burnout moments, or was there ever a particular episode where you're just sort of like, oh my god, another 18-hour day and I'm going to kill someone right now?
Well, of course. I mean, people be wanting it if I said no. But that's the nature of the beast with this business, and especially when you're on a science fiction show where there's prosthetic makeup involved. And a typical 1-hour drama uses an 8-day shooting schedule. We had a 7-day shooting schedule, even though it was so tech heavy and so special effects heavy and things like that. So it was a long, tough schedule. There's no question about it. My average day was probably 16 hours, including makeup time. And I had a handful of 18 and 19. I had a 20-hour day once.
When you were full Borg, you had
the
the
full Borg
longest days.
makeup.
Yeah.
And because the worst part of the Borg makeup is you've got, it's like an hour and a half. For the first day they did it as 5 hours because it's a new bald cap and they have to put all the pieces on the bald cap as you go. Then they reuse it so that the next time it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours to put it on because the rest of the pieces that are on the bald cap stick to it. But the first day's 5 hours. And then you're in it all day, shooting and sweating and just wearing it. And then everybody else goes home, and you and your makeup artist are sitting there for another 45 minutes to take it off at the end of the day. Because they have to take it off real gently so that they can use it again. So that was hard. That was tough. But you know, the character was so beautifully written, and I was incredibly lucky as an actor to get to play such fun stories that they gave me, and to have such a huge growth. You don't typically get that in a character who's just, you know, human. So.
But your Borg suit was cutting off your circulation too, wasn't it?
The
neck
full
line?
Borg
Full
suit, yes, because they had made it, they made a body cast, literally plaster cast of my body from the neck to the ankles. And, which was a whole trip in itself. So then they built the costume, it was like neoprene, is the base of what the Borg suit was made out of.
Like a wetsuit?
Like a wetsuit. But then they put all the rubber and the layers of latex and rubber and all the stuff that they put on it, and then that stuff dries and starts to sort of constrict. So it's no longer, you know, neoprene that stretches and gives. And it was snug, and it was a high neck. And we realized once I got onto set and tried to actually like move in it, what if I turned my head to the side and pressed on my carotid artery, which is a problem, oddly. So there were a couple times where I never actually fainted. So people think that I like completely passed out and face planted on the floor. I did not. I got faint. You know, you start to black out, and you get real dizzy, and you have to kind of sit as best you can in that suit. But after the second time it happened, and someone actually saw it because I was afraid to tell anybody, then they made some like slits in the neck, and so then it wasn't an issue.
See, that helped. Yeah. And then, that Starfleet uniform wasn't that much better either. I tell people, it's made to fit perfectly when you're standing up.
Yeah,
you sit
there's
down.
No stretch. I wore one of those for one episode. I was like, God, this sucks too. What is that? What is this with the Star Trek costume?
But this is what bummed me out. When she wore the Starfleet uniform, she was supposed to wear the gold one, just like my operations and tactical one. And she goes, no, that's kind of a puke yellow. I'm not going to go for that. So you remember that? You went for that? Yes, you did. I was so offended. I was like, that's a great gold.
It is not a good color. However, having said that,
it only looks good on blondes. I swear to you, you didn't give it a shot.
Blondes and Asians. Blondes and
No,
Asians,
not
baby.
Oh, bud. That's an interesting. That could be a documentary. Blondes and Asians. Okay. Anyway, another question, please. Where are we going? I can't see anything here. So.
Hello, Miss Ryan.
Where are you? Voice
Back here.
Oh, there they
Oh,
are.
hi.
Hello. I just wanted to ask you a question. I do not know the episode number. However, when you had... I know I should get my card back. When you had a child with the doctor,
Yes.
at the end, and I don't want to be a spoiler, you were very upset. How long did it take you to nail your response to losing your child? Because those 3 simple steps you took in the sick bay were brilliant.
Thank you.
And you should have gotten an Emmy for that.
No, that's very sweet. Thank you.
And
Very sweet.
It was my favorite episode. And it was amazing that you were able to take so much emotion and do it in a very simple performance. But my question is, how long did it take you to nail that? Was it like 1 take, 4 takes?
I don't remember specifically, but I'm a mom. And when I got on Star Trek, I think my son was 2.5 at the time.
He was older than that.
Dinky little thing. 2.5 and 3.
Oh my gosh.
First season. He, by the way, just turned 20, so that's wow. Anyway, so that was not a hard thing for me to wrap my head around. So it didn't, I don't remember specifically how many takes it was, but it wouldn't have been a lot for me to be able to feel what I needed to feel for that, because once you're a mom, you're a mom. Do you know what I mean? And so putting myself in that position for the scene was not difficult.
What's interesting is that there's that one episode where Kim has a dream sequence and he's kissing 7 of 9, and then 7, Jeri turns into an alien, right? At the last second. So the funny...
I remember that part, really?
Yes. So the funny thing was, the episode was running in Jeri's trailer on the little TV in her trailer at the time. Her son was there in the
Laying
trailer.
in his head in my lap.
Yes, he's laying in the head, about to fall asleep, and that scene comes on. So his eyes are fluttering heavy, and he looks up and sees the kiss between me and his mother, and his eyes pop open. He goes, "Mommy, kiss Garrett?" Like that.
Mommy, you're kissing Garrett!
Which I thought was adorable. So.
It was really cute.
And honestly, people ask me all the time, what was it like to kiss Jeri Ryan? I said, well, I have full lips. Jerry Ryan has full lips. It's like two ceiling posturepedic mattresses bouncing up against each other. Wonderful. So, I never told you that, but I'm kind of embarrassed that I said that now.
Like posturepedic. I'm gonna
Another question, please.
file that one away.
File away. Over there, maybe? Yes?
Who's got a microphone? Does anybody have a microphone?
You know what? We're going to take this question right here. Make it loud.
Yep. Could you guys hear her in the back? She said, of all the characters that I've played on all the different shows, which one was my absolute favorite and which one would I do more episodes of if I could?
Right.
Okay. Well, there's different favorites for different reasons. Seven was a phenomenal character to play as an actor. But I don't think I would have chosen to do more episodes of her. I think we told her story and it was done, I think. My favorite, as far as what I enjoyed shooting the most, what was the most fun to do, was either Boston Public or Leverage, Garrett or Leverage. That was, out of my entire career, were two just sort of perfect work experiences, like in every way. The whole cast was amazing and sweet and supportive and fun, and the crew was amazing, and we loved what we were doing, and we were happy with the writing, and we were all happy with our characters, and you couldn't wait to thumb through the script and see what you were doing that week, and those were great.
And you went from one Harry Kim on Voyager, to another Harry in Boston
right,
Public, right? So Harry,
Harry's.
yeah. And I just kept thinking, why didn't they just cast me? I could have just gone operating in Boston Public. I could have been the other Harry.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, we have a question in the center here.
Hi, so...
Oh, we'll get you in a second. Who's got the mic right now?
Hi.
Wave your hand. Where are you?
Make it sound really big.
Hello.
Oh, there. Hi.
Welcome back to you.
So you sang quite a couple of times on Voyager, and I was wondering, would you ever want to be in a musical? Because you have a beautiful voice.
Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you. I did all through college and high school and junior high. I did a lot of musical theater, and it's fun. Yeah, that's always fun. My issue is I don't like hearing myself sing, so that's the hard part for me. I don't like hearing playback, so when you have to sing in a TV show and it's with playback, that's a little rough on me because I don't like listening to myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a great voice. Like, remember the World War II?
I do.
That
One I can't watch.
You-
Can't watch the
Wow.
play. I like this. Ugh, I can't.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Things you find
One
out.
of those things, I know.
Okay. Do you still sing?
I sing constantly. I
Do you?
sing constantly.
At home?
I have OCD, so if I have a song playing and I know the words, and I have to know the words. I don't like new music that I don't know because I don't know the words yet. So then I have to obsess over it, learn the words really fast, and I can't hear a song that I know and not sing. I physically cannot stop myself from singing along. It makes my son insane. It's like, you're ruining my songs! It's like, dude, I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Nice. Okay. The gentleman that was over here in the audience, what was your question? Be loud.
On Boston Legal?
When you were in Boston Legal, did you and Shatner trade Star Trek?
Star Trek or Stalker?
Stalker?
I know you said Stalker stories, so that could be Star Trek stories.
Yes, Star Trek. What is your stalker story?
It's like, oh, you know, you have one. How cool.
Don't have stalkers. And this is one thing where I came out on stage and I knew Shatner was signing autographs in the same building, and I hoped he was going to hear me. I came out as George Takei, and I said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my castmate, Bill Shatner, doing his rendition of Everybody's Kung Fu Fighting. And so then everybody's
Kung Fu Fighting.
Yeah. Good one.
It's a good song.
Yes. Sorry, what was your
Anyway,
question?
did we trade Star Trek stories?
Yeah, did you? Not Stalker, but Star Trek stories.
I'm sure it must have come up, I would imagine. I don't remember any specifics, but yeah, I'm sure we must have at least mentioned it at some point, yeah.
I mean, he knew your character. Had he seen
Oh, yeah.
Voyager?
Oh, I don't know if he watched it, but he knew what it was.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He knew of it, at least.
All right, do we have another one on the mic? Mike? Microphone?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, so Star Trek has a lot of technobabble of dubious scientific accuracy, and Seven did have a lot of that.
Pardon my expression, I know you can't, sorry.
Never heard you use that
Sorry.
before.
Science officer, but I was wondering if doing all of that, as inaccurate as it was, you ever got more interested in space or science or just the wonder of the universe while doing Star Trek?
Well, you know, I've always been a big science geek. Always. From the time I was a kid. I love science. Always. Yeah! So it didn't make me more interested in it, but I already had that interest. And my son developed a fascination in space. He was already interested in it before I got on the show. Oh, I got to take that story. Sorry, I'll back to your question in a second. The first time my son walked onto the set to visit me, he was like 2.5, 3, something like that. He was into space and planets and stuff. And they had the big Starfield backdrop, which is a huge, giant piece of black velvet with little bits of mirror on it to reflect the light to look like stars. And it was down. And he walked onto the set and went, space! It was so cute! He was so excited. Anyway, side note. She's 20.
20 now.
I'm gonna start crying
You
again.
may still do that.
Space!
That's kind of Shatner.
Right. Space! But anyway, no, I loved that aspect of the show, and that was fun for me. I loved the science, I loved the space, I loved all of it. So that was very cool.
You know what I did not love is I did not love that brown suit that they gave you. She had that beautiful silver
He called it the
7/9. I call it the Dookie suit. I go,
That
oh,
was
you're
a
wearing the
Dookie
Dookie suit today, like that. And then you would have the plum grape suit, the purple one, right? Then you had the two-tone. I like the two-tone blue and light blue.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy with the two-tone.
Oh, you didn't like
Full
that?
wear for me.
No.
The solid blue was okay.
Okay, and then I would make fun of her implants. I would say she had a dolphin going over
Oh,
her
yeah,
one eye
it's a dolphin.
and a chicken claw. Like a nice chicken claw today.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yes. Another question.
Hi, Miss Ryan.
Hi.
You're looking beautiful today.
Oh, thank you. It's very sweet.
Garrett, you're looking gorgeous as always.
He's
But,
looking pretty about 30 years.
Oh, my.
so I've seen some snippets online, but I was wondering if Miss Ryan, you would ever be interested in playing Sonya Blade in a feature film.
It was a lot of fun. I loved playing Sonya Blade. I loved it. It was really fun. I don't know if any of you saw that. It was a web series.
I didn't see it.
It was really cool, very edgy and it was fun. She was badass. Oh my god, see, I've cussed twice. I'm so sorry. This will go right for wrong.
Badass and ass
Bad
loaded.
language. That's
Yeah.
a terrible example. Don't follow my example.
And ass is a donkey, young lady.
That's right.
what it is.
We're referring
She's
to
just
that. It's a
talking
really
about
bad donkey.
Ass loaded, donkey loaded. Just remember
Right.
that.
Anyway, where was I going with this? Right, yes. So I don't know, it'd be fun, but you know, let's be realistic. I'm getting a little long in the tooth to be Sonya. I think at this point.
No.
You can buy Sonya at 40. I don't think you're going to so much buy Sonya at 46, but whatever.
Okay. Okay, I think you still do it. Right?
Thanks.
You do.
Thanks.
Seriously.
Thanks.
Come on. Jeri Wang. You can do anything. All right, let's get another question going. Microphone question? Okay. We'll get these two young ladies here. What is your question,
Hi.
young lady? She's having a fangirl
okay.
moment. It's okay. She's a bit verklempt. Okay, yes.
It was a riot. I mean, it was, well,
Let's repeat her question because they can't.
oh, you can't hear that?
She talked about how the episode where 7 of 9 and the doctor switched bodies, and
Technically, I think he downloaded into
Downloaded.
my ocular implant.
That's
or
right.
something
That's
like
what
that.
happened. Whoa.
Yeah,
Let's
something
go.
like that. Yeah.
Well, and Anson Kim had to be in all those scenes, and it just drove me crazy because I always ask the producers, do something where Kim gets to do impersonations of the other actors on the show, right? I let Kim have a shipwide talent show, and Kim gets up and does his Janeway, does his doctor, but they would never let me do any impersonations, and it was always every other actor. So when Jeri got to do the doctor and impersonating the doctor, I just sat there.
You were
I was so
bitter.
I was
He was
bitter. I was
bitter.
so forlorn. I was like, why?
But if you've got to do an impersonation of somebody, that's a pretty good one to do.
That's a
because
good
he's so specific, you know?
Can you do your doctor right now?
No, probably not. I don't remember.
Can I do my doctor?
No, yeah.
All right, ready?
He's definitely well practiced.
Just remember, Kes, anybody can stargaze on the bridge, but the real action happens in sick bay.
But seriously, even besides you, Dwight Schultz, remember, who played Barclay? He came on and we're in the mess hall and he starts doing his impersonation of Janeway. And where do they place me? Right next to Dwight Schultz. So I have to listen to him do, Janeway. I know.
Status plug, Mr. Kim. Actually, it's all about getting in your throat like this and talking like Katharine Hepburn on a little bit of helium. Orange really is the new black, isn't it? Yes.
She's up for an Emmy, right? It's red. People watch that show? Orange is the New Black? Yeah. Women's Prison. Awesome. Okay. Did we even answer her question? I think we
I
just...
think we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we kind of
Ish.
did.
Ish.
Ish. Yes. They look great in cosplay. Have you noticed the amazing cosplays at this convention?
There's a dragon walking around. Just like full, big,
Yes.
giant,
Big
with
dragon.
moving legs.
Yes.
Big dragon walking around.
That's Dragon Con for you. Exactly. We'll take another question from Mike. Anybody?
Over here. Hi, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We're so grateful. I'm a huge Voyager fan. I think that you're amazing on it. I just wanted to ask you, I read that when you were on Boston Legal, that you also worked at a restaurant, and I wondered, what inspired you to do that? I know you love cooking, but I'd like to hear how that happened. And if you have a favorite dish to cook, I'd love to hear what it is.
Actually, when I was cooking in a restaurant, I was on Boston Public, I believe. We were finishing that one up. And it was a restaurant called The House that was in LA, because I'm a big foodie, I always have been. And that was always a sort of secret passion, was, a little fantasy, being a chef or something like that.
So you married
I have a chef thing.
Yeah.
I do, I have a chef thing. And so I was a regular at this restaurant. I became friends with the chef, and she asked me to come on Sundays. They had, instead of the regular menu, they would do a three-course family-style meal or whatever. And there was one meat dish, one fish dish, and one vegetarian choice on Sundays. And so I would go to the market with her in the morning and watch her pick out all the produce and watch her help her plan the menu and stuff like that. And so initially I would do that with her, and then I'd go and prep during the day, and then I'd go home and change and come back and eat dinner with my family in the restaurant. And then one night we're eating, and they were short-staffed because somebody didn't show up, and they had a party, coming in, a big party, and she asked me if I would stay and help. So I go back in the kitchen, and I'm plating the salads and plating the desserts and stuff like that. It was really fun. She's like, well, why don't you come cook? I was like, I'm gonna come cook. So every Sunday I would go in the morning to the market with her, and I'd help her plan the menu, and I'd prep all day, and then so in the evenings it got to the point where I was cooking the vegetarian entree. Because I couldn't do the meat or the fish because I would over or undercook it or do something, and I was too scared. So people are paying for it, I didn't want to mess it up. So vegetarian entree I couldn't mess up. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. I loved it. And it was, my God, you get out of the service in the middle, midnight when the last table was served. And you've been sweating and just going like this for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And there are muscles that hurt that you didn't know you had just from cooking and reaching your weird ankles. And I was bouncing, you're shaking, you're so energized, and it was so exciting and so much fun. And so that's what I was doing when I was working for fun on Sundays at this restaurant when I met my husband at a charity event, and he was the executive chef at a really shishi restaurant in LA at the time.
L'Orangerie. L'Orangerie. Yes.
And we met, and he was very cute, and chef's checking in.
That's still really impressive that you
Nice,
did that.
thanks.
That's awesome.
It's
Impressive
fun.
that you actually
It was
did
really
that.
fun.
Worked in the restaurant. That's sweet. I like that.
And then we opened our restaurant together.
Yes.
And I was working the front of the house, which is infinitely less fun than working in the kitchen was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeri had a restaurant with her husband called Ortolan.
I did get a $10 tip one night, though, as the
Ooh,
hostess.
as
This
the
guy
hostess.
slid me a 10 on the way
Nice.
out. I was like, sweet, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Like you need that right here. You really need a 10. Yeah, that's funny though. I remember when I came to eat at Ortolan once, and and was there with my friends from Chicago, and they're the high back booths, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if Jeri's gonna come out. And all of a sudden, she just pops her head around the corner like this. Hey, no, babe. I'm like, oh.
You guys all had a boys' dinner too.
I
The
didn't make it
male
there.
cast members.
I
you
missed
weren't
it.
at
I was so bummed. I told them to reschedule it. They wouldn't
That's
reschedule
right.
it. The
Yeah,
boys
the
at
guys
Voyager,
together,
we get
we
together
have
and
a
have
boys' dinner.
exactly.
Still.
We still do this.
And
All
I
the
crashed
men.
it twice.
She did crash it, but we just said no girls allowed. So all the men of Voyager meet and have this dinner. So yeah, we should invite you guys more often. That'd be
Yeah.
nicer.
It's probably more fun though. Let's be realistic. You guys have fun.
We do have a hoot, definitely. Next question, please.
Yes, Jeri, thanks for coming. I'm Wayne Tay from Augusta, Georgia. Glad to see you here at Dragon Con.
Thank you.
As 7 of 9, what was your favorite episode to film and why?
We don't really have one favorite, but my favorite episodes always tended to be the ones where Seven was exploring her humanity. So the one that was already mentioned where Seven and the Doctor basically have a kid together. I loved the ones where the Doctor was teaching Seven how to date. That was a lot of fun. So all of those kind of episodes where she's really exploring and trying and learning new things about humanity, those were always really fun.
I didn't like that episode at all because it was the Doctor with Seven, and I thought, what? The Doctor, he's Microsoft Windows. Why would he have a relationship with Seven? Because everyone knows Kim was the first one to make a move on Seven, and the dark writers...
Oh, excuse me. Make a move, I think would be the wrong word.
I,
As I recall the scene,
yes.
I recall you beating a hasty retreat in that scene.
That was the
I
writers
think
making
you
me
ran away
beat
with your
a
tail between your legs.
Yes, they did. Filming that episode was the most embarrassing filming time
Oh
of my
my
life.
God, the guys in the crew gave him such crap.
No, this is what happens after, so Seven calls Kim on his bluff, basically saying, oh, your pupils are dilated. It looks like you want to get some nookie. And so she goes, do you wish to copulate? And then Kim goes, no. Director goes, cut, like that. And then Jeri turns to the crew. She goes, any takers here? And the crew, oh, me. I will do the job since Kim obviously doesn't have a brain any longer. So, yeah, I'll take over. Thank you. I never heard the end of that. I would be just traveling. I'd be around the world. Fans would come up and go,
There's a lot of mileage out of that one.
oh, they shook their head. You missed out. Why would you turn down Seven? I go, the writers turned Seven down for me. Thank you. So, it was horrible. Oh, I just have such bad night. Oh, all right, another question, please.
Somebody have my phone or no?
Let's take one from the front here. How about you? Right in front.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, where?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Like, oh God, no. Wait.
Based upon all the superheroes from 2009 on, which superhero would you want to be?
Iron Man.
Oh! I like that.
Got the best toys.
Yes. Yes. That's a good choice. He does have good toys. Okay. You have another question on a mic? No?
But Superman
Yes,
has the
I
best
have
outfit.
one.
The new Superman.
Okay, mic question. Go ahead.
Where?
My daughter has
Where are
been
you?
watching Voyager with me,
Oh, nice.
and I got ahead of them and finished the series, and Seven ends up with Chakotay. My daughter's like, no, that can't happen. Who would you have chosen to pair up with?
Well, who did your daughter want? Who did she think it should have been?
Sorry. I'm still here. Sorry.
Who did your daughter think it should have been?
She didn't tell me.
Well, you
Oh,
have
she
to
don't
ask
know.
her.
I don't have a problem with her ending, frankly,
She liked the
because...
doctor.
What's that?
She liked the doctor.
Well, okay, yes, I always felt bad that she blew the poor doctor off and broke his heart. I thought that was awful. That made me sad. But I didn't have a problem with her ending up with Chakotay, and I've heard a lot of complaints from fans saying it came out of nowhere. But I think, I don't know, actually, it might have been the season before, maybe, where there was an episode where Seven is exploring her humanity, and she's on the holodeck, and she basically falls in love with Chakotay on the holodeck. Not the real Chakotay, but the holodeck Chakotay. And so that had already been established. And then something happened, like her board stuff short circuits or something, and they said she can't have a relationship, whatever. So that's how that episode ended. And then the very next episode that we shot was an episode where Seven and Chakotay were stranded on some planet together, like our shuttle crash landed or something. And so the script comes out, and I'm like, okay, well, obviously, now I'm supposed to be carrying on some kind of subtext here, right? So is this going somewhere? Robert and I both asked the producers, you know, are you going to carry the storyline? They said, no, God, no, don't play any of that. That's not going anywhere. Don't do that. It's like, okay, fine, so great. But then at the end, to have it thrown back in, well, we could have been playing that for all of those episodes, and we had specifically asked if it was going anywhere. That was a little frustrating. But that one stands out to me as a frustration in the writing, just because that's the only time, really, that I can think of in 4 years of playing that character that I thought that they missed something with Seven. Because I think they did such a great job with the way that they developed her and all the arc that they gave her. But that one, because it was so aberrant, really is glaring.
You know what I recall from when I had to kiss you in that dream sequence and you turned into the alien?
I think you might have mentioned that.
Yes, I just remember that I was so nervous. I was like sweating and
I
had tissues and I was like, I need more tissues. And as I'm touching the tissues, pieces were coming off from my sweat. So now I had little pieces of white little flecks all over me. And I was so nervous. I was wrecked. And I was like, oh my god. And so when I finally told her that years later, I was like, admitting to her how nervous I was to kiss her. She goes, oh my gosh, Gooby, that's exactly how I felt when I had to kiss Robert Beltran. Like, let me just take this dagger out. Okay, there you go. Oh, poor Harry.
Yeah.
If you ever tweet, just hashtag poor Harry. And by the way, this is the woman who got me into Twitter, by the way.
That's right.
She started me on Twitter probably 4 years ago or something like that. It's been a while, but what happened was, the minute she said, hey, Garrett Wang's on Twitter, I got 5,000 followers in 5 minutes. So my phone was like, ding, 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 it was going crazy. And then I tweeted 12 times.
Then never tweeted again for like 3 years.
You know why? I went to Ibiza, Spain, and I lost my phone in Spain. And I just stopped tweeting. I go, whatever. And then I went to Germany, and it was Dina, Dina Meyer from, have you met her? From Starship Troopers? Okay, so the actress from Starship Troopers, she says, you know what, you should just start tweeting again. And I said, yeah, why not? So I took one picture of myself, Casper Van Dien, and Dina Meyer, and in the last 14 months, I went from 12 tweets to, I think I'm at 12,000 right now in a year, so,
yeah.
But she started.
I'm a Twitter addict, but he makes me look sane with it.
So thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Another question, please. Microphone question? Anybody?
Hello?
Hi.
In the middle. Once again, welcome to DragonCon. It's my first DragonCon as well, so thank you for making it extra special.
Welcome.
My question to you is, you joined the series practically halfway through, so the cast had already gelled and they've really established themselves. Was it difficult for you to get in the mix, so to speak, or did they make it easy for you, or did Garrett pull on your pranks and make it hard for you as well?
You know, it would have been great, except there's this one actor on the show named Garrett Wang or Wang or something like that. God, in an ideal circumstance, that's an awkward position for anyone to be in. It's an awkward situation for everybody. There's one actor who's been there since the beginning that they're writing out of the show, and they're bringing a new one in, and that's never easy.
You know,
under the best of circumstances.
Can I just say that when they were writing, you were in the same episode as Jennifer Lee was leaving, you were coming in. So really, the person who really had it worse was Jenny Lean, if you think about that. And I remember it was so difficult on set because she was in a bit of a funk because and so what happened was nobody was talking to her, and I walked up to all the other guys. I was like, why aren't you talking there? Well, she's not talking to us, so we're not going to talk to her. So what I did was I consciously stopped talking to you to only focus on Jenny to make her last episode, cool, with her, at least a little bit better. So I actually ignored you while all the other male actors were all flitting around you and being all flirty, and I just stuck with just Jenny to transition her to the real world, I guess. I don't know, but our relationship in the beginning was very immediate in terms of our chemistry. We used to we used to play this game where we would just yell out condiments to each other. We were like, ketchup, mustard, relish. I don't know what they came from.
Very mature.
Yeah, we were bizarre, yeah. But we also played this awesome game where we tried to catch the other one unawares, and if you caught the other person without them knowing that you were there, the goal was to slap the other person in the butt as hard as possible, like a wham thing. But the thing is, Jeri she did, because every time I hid behind any stage door, it's like she had eyes in the back of her head. She would be reading her script, and as she walked past me and I'm about to hit her, she'd block it with her script. She'd take her script and just block it like that, keep walking. And I'm like, how did you, what?
He was terrible at that game.
And then when she caught me, she did not hold back. She hit me so hard. I mean, literally,
all the time.
Girlfriend, I flew off the ground when you hit me. I was like, bam! I go flying. I had to go to a chiropractor after that. It was ridiculous. The strong German arms that you have or something. I don't know what it is.
Come from hearty Eastern European
That's
stock.
what it is, yes. Anyway, next question.
Hi, yeah, middle, right, your right-hand side.
Hi.
So I grew up watching Voyager, and I loved both of you in it, but I really have to ask Jeri, how did you like doing Tara from Leverage and taking over from Sophia Devereaux? And like, what was your favorite part of doing Leverage?
God, that's probably my second favorite job ever besides Boston Public. I loved everything about it. Again, I mean, that was such a fun character to play because she was, I don't know if those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's a show about thieves, basically, who, steal from the rich and give back to the poor, whatever. Kind of a Robin Hood sort of thing. And the character that I was coming in as is a grifter. So the lead actress was on paternity leave. And so they brought me in for the, whatever it was, 6 or 7 episodes or something while she was having her baby. And so every week you're a completely different person because she's the actor of the group. So she's whatever role she has to play for whatever the grift is that they're doing that week. And so it was so much fun. And another time where it was just the best group of people. They all got along and they all hung out together and they all loved what they were doing and the crew was amazing and it was really, really fun. It was really fun. I love that character.
We both.
I was like, who am I now? Now who am I? Who am I this week?
Christian Kane. So,
you know Christian?
Yeah, we worked together on Into the West, which was a 6-part miniseries about the Native American. Did you know that? Yeah. So here's the deal. I get in the makeup trailer the first day. Christian comes in and plops his butt down. And I look over, I said, good morning. And he grunts at me. He goes, like that. I thought, that is rude. I didn't say that, but I thought that. And then about 10 minutes later, I said, so what do you think? Should we run some lines? Which is actor speak for let's rehearse our lines. And he goes, oh, you're playing Chao Ping? I go, yeah, I'm playing the lead Chinese railroad worker. And he goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a Native American extra, because my hair was long for a while, right? So everyone thought I was Native American, including Christian Kane. And it was absolutely...
So he was just going to grunt at
Yeah, he was just going to grunt at me. I was an extra.
Yeah, about that.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing was at lunchtime we go to the lunch trailer and sure enough this woman starts staring at me and I go, oh my gosh, here he goes. She comes up to me and she goes, excuse me, what tribe are you? It doesn't matter what tribe you are. Can you ride a horse? And I'm looking at her going, I'm gonna just humor this. And I said, yes, I can ride a horse. And she said, no, I don't want you to know if you just ride a horse. Can you ride a horse at full gallop? And Christian jumps in and he goes, listen up, sweetheart. Don't you ask. He's a star of the episode. Stop asking him if he can ride a damn horse like that. And she looks at him and she goes, don't you call me sweetheart. So they start arguing over me. Right? This argument goes on for almost all lunch until Christian's like arguing with her and she's sitting behind him, right? And he's sitting there and finally he goes, that's it, woman. I'm gonna make you eat this. He said something crazy like this rib bone is gonna go down your throat. I mean, he just started yelling at her. And I go, just stop it. So she finally comes up and apologizes. She goes, listen, I'm the Native American extras coordinator. I'm short. I need 30 more guys to play Braves in this one scene. You looked perfect. I didn't realize you were playing Chao Ping. So again, the long hair foiled me over and over again. So Like Christian, yeah, you got along with Christian, right? He's a
I
crazy
love Christian, yeah.
He's a crazy guy. He
He's
really
crazy.
is.
He's fun to go out with, but
Oh,
my God,
gosh.
yeah, he gets scrappy after a
He
couple
gets-
of tequilas.
Are you kidding me? Oh, Scrappy's not even the case. I mean,
Every Monday they would come in because all the guys every weekend on Leverage would go out and party
And drink.
go crazy.
Yeah.
And then every Monday the poor makeup department having to patch a black eye.
Oh no.
Cut.
Oh.
How do I cover this
Oh,
now?
no.
Every week.
Oh yeah. I mean, after the first night, Christian and I went out.
He
We were coming
enjoys the
back.
bar room for all.
Oh, he loves it. We left the restaurant. We were both buzzed like crazy, and he got in the middle of the street. He stopped traffic. He stops the car, slams his hand on the hood, and goes, "Okay, I know you're holding out on me. I need a cigarette right now." Of the car, of the people in the car, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, he's an actor. Sorry." So I'm like pulling him back away. I mean, it was just wild and crazy. But he's a great guy, though, regardless. Crazy as he does, yes. But we work together with the same person. It's cute. Next question.
So, Garrett, you and Tim have previously discussed your favorite bridge pastime activity is fart wars, and I was wondering whether or not you guys cranked it up or toned it down when Jeri was on the bridge.
Okay, let me just first.
Nothing was toned down.
She is correct in saying that, but I want to clarify this. I was not part of Fart Wars. Okay? The three nations that were involved in Fart Wars were the nation of Tom Paris, the nation of Ethan Neelix, and the nation of Tupac. Those three engaged in Fart Wars. All right? I was an innocent victim bystander. I mean, literally, no way! Tupac would come up to my station with tactical. He'd walk up and go, "Hey, Bubba." I go, "What's up?" He goes, "I got something for you." He'd turn around, release the gas, and leave. Okay? Now, even worse than that. Oh, so wrong. Worse than that. Tom Paris would come and he'd knock on my trailer door. I go, "Yep." He goes, "Hey, it's Robbie." I go, "Yeah, come in." He'd come in, release the gas, turn around and hotbox me and leave me in there. Slam the door like that. This is what I had to deal with. I was not. Only those three would do this over and over again. They would. Neelix was infamous. He would love to release the methane gas inside a shuttle, okay? So we're in the shuttle. I mean, you weren't there that day. It was hilarious. When I'm standing outside and all of a sudden you hear, "Open the door, open the door, open the door!" The cameraman, the sound guy, they all tumble out, right? And then out comes Neelix like grinning, like, "Ha ha, I did it, yes, right, the smiler is the tab." This was what they did to me. I never engaged in fart wars, ever. Next question, please.
Hi, I was wondering, when you played Seven on Voyager, was there anything different that you felt that Seven would have done that the writers made you do? Like you feel like her character would have done something differently? No, as I mentioned, the only thing, and the reason that one instance where they missed, because I asked them about the storyline of the undercurrent of Chakotay. The reason that one stands out so much is because I can't think of another instance in that 4 years of playing that character where I disagreed with the choices that they made for Seven or how she developed or what she would do. I really can't. I mean, maybe there is something, but I'm forgetting it. But I can't really think of anything, and that's why that one mistake was so glaring to me. Because in 4 years, 100 episodes of playing this, well, 104 episodes, I guess, of playing this character, that's the only time that I really felt that there was a mistake made.
It was well fleshed out, that character.
Yeah,
Definitely.
she
For
definitely
sure.
was.
For sure. Question?
This question goes out to the both of you. Have you come across, I'm sure you have, but do you have any stories to tell about any bizarre fans that you've come across?
No, I don't know what you mean. Bizarre. Where to begin?
Yes.
No, there have been quite a few, but my first sort of example of that was I was at in Las Vegas for the opening of Star Trek: The Experience. Do you guys remember that? Las Vegas. And so I had to get up super early and be down in the lobby at like 4 in the morning for one of the morning talk shows, Good Morning America or something like that. And we'd gotten there and they weren't quite ready, the camera wasn't quite ready, so they said, come back in like half an hour, 45 minutes. So we went to the all-night, we'll restaurant diner thing in the hotel to kill a little time. And this man comes up to the table and says, "I'm so sorry to bother you, but I have to tell you that my wife is in the back room dressing as you right now." It's 4 in the morning, okay? I was like, thanks, all right, cool. And sure enough, 15 minutes later, out walks this woman in the full-on 7 of 9 gack, and she's made the pieces out of FEMA clay, and Elmer's glued them to her face.
Oh.
She looked great! She looked great! But 4 in the morning, so the time table was a little odd for me, but that was the first time that I encountered that. It was fun.
I have a story with a crazy fan with Jeri. There was a time when we all went swing dancing over at, do you remember this? Over in Las Feliz. And so what happened is the makeup artist was Suzanne. Suzanne grabs me and she goes, "Come on, Garrett, let's go dance." And I go, "Oh no." She goes, "Really? I'll show you." So she grabs me by the hand and drags me to the dance floor. And that's when Jeri goes, "Oh, I gotta see this." So she follows after. She's walking behind us. And as she's walking behind us, some fan intercepts her, and he comes over here. "You're Jeri Ryan, right?" She goes, "Yeah." "Great!" Grabs her, goes, "Let's dance!" Like that. And starts dancing.
And I mean, he is whipping me.
Whipping her around, and all you see is this blonde hair like a mop. She's just like, she's getting whiplash, you know? And here I am trying to learn from watching Jeri going, "Remember that guy? That was awesome." Oh, I had video at that point on my phone. Oh, I would have gotten that. Oh,
God.
Remember that, see?
Yeah, it all comes back. Baby.
Yes. Another question.
I was just interested if you were interested in directing. Several of the actors went on and directed episodes and moved on to directing afterwards. And just wondered if you were ever interested in directing.
No, I would be a horrible director, honestly. I know that about myself. I would never, ever be a director.
You know, I was the last person to ask. I was the last. Robbie McNeil was the first, and they said yes. Bob Picardo was the second, and they said yes. Yes. Tim Russ was, they said yes, and Roxanne Dawson said yes. And I said, you know what, I'm going to let all those guys go first. I'm going to slowly walk in and ask season 5, and I'll be the last person, because nobody else had any interest. Jeri didn't, Kate didn't, Neelix didn't. And I felt that because I'm a science fiction fan to begin with, and I love sci-fi, I love Star Trek, I felt that my freshman episode was going to be, I'm not trying to be cocky, but I felt that the end result was going to be better than anybody else who had ever directed from Star Trek, their first episode. But what happened is they said no. I was the first person they said no to in the history of Star Trek. They shut the window on it. Did you know this? Okay.
Probably.
But
did.
I'll tell you what happened. The reason being, I did an interview with TV Guide, and they asked me like, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, this is off the record, okay? And they were like, yes. It wasn't off the record.
Interview.
Yes, and I said basically the producers and writers of Voyager did not take the risks they could have to make the show better than it already is. So it was constructive criticism, and it was aimed at Rick Berman's comment in the very beginning when we were cast, when you were not there. And he said, welcome all of you who got cast on Voyager, congratulations. For those of you playing human characters, I need you to underplay your roles. Be more two-dimensional, be more wooden, be more like robots in a way. This is the only way to make the aliens look real. And I thought, what? I mean, we're humans. The humans have all the emotion. We should have all the emotion. So I disagreed with that. I didn't say it to Berman's face, but I said it to the reporter who printed it. And then after that, when they read that, they were like, okay, you want to direct? What do you think we're running here, directing school? And I said, well, yeah, pretty much. Everyone from Next Gen, Deep Space, original series who's wanted to direct has gotten the chance. But they shut the door, and no one from Enterprise was allowed to direct either afterwards. So it's kind of a sad story. Most definitely.
Pretty much it's your fault that they stopped letting it.
You're right.
Basically, that's what you're saying.
Hashtag poor Harry. Pretty much. Anyway. But you could direct, though.
No.
You have no.
No.
Okay. All right, we won't go down that avenue. All right. Gotcha. Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
Fellow, you're the monkey here.
Yay.
And so I know your personalities.
Yes.
This question is for Jeri or you, because you're both cut-ups.
We're cut-ups.
What do you mean?
Well, anyway, since 7 of 9 had such a stiff, formal personality, character-wise, did you find it difficult to keep that character, or were there times that you just had to let your inner Jeri bust out and crack the rest of them off?
Oh, my inner Jeri and her very loud cackle busted out all the time. Yeah, that was probably the single biggest challenge with this character, was trying to keep a straight face in any scene with any of these boys. And it got to the point where they didn't even have to try after a while. Like, poor Johnny, Ethan Phillips, played Neelix. Bless his heart. This man wasn't even trying. He was trying to just do his job, say his lines, be in the scene, be a good actor, fellow thespian. And I couldn't even make eye contact because I would just start cracking up. He's not even doing anything. He's like, what? I'm just. So if we had scenes together and it was my close-up, I would just have to look past him. I couldn't look in his face because I would just bust up.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
tough.
I mean, and your laugh is not just a tiny little giggle.
it's
It's
a
a cackle. I mean, it goes woo, way up high. Yeah. But Ethan Phillips really loved to try to make other actors mess up. So whenever it was, if it was my coverage, the camera was on me and Ethan's off camera, he would try so hard to like say whatever he could to make people mess up on purpose. And he prided himself in being the one that couldn't break, you know. And so I actually did get him one time.
Did you?
Yes, I did. So he's on camera and I'm off camera, and instead of saying my line, I said, "Boy, did you ever notice the end of your nose looks like a butt crack, like that?" And he sat there, he went, "Ah!" He flipped out. He started laughing so hard, and it was great. He popped a blood vessel because it does. He has a little line. It just intersects the end of his bulbous nose and looks like a baby's butt crack. Okay. Anyway, next question.
Right here?
Hi.
Hey, so first shout out to Garrett for playing clarinet. I played clarinet for 7 years too, and that was awesome. And thank you both for being here. My question was to Jeri. When you first entered into this show, there was such a dynamic chemistry between you and Kate Mulgrew and your characters themselves. And did that play out a lot in you as actresses as well? Was she very mentoring to you, and did that chemistry bleed over into actual life as well?
In which aspect of it specifically? Sorry.
Just like, how Captain Janeway was mentoring Seven, trying to...
Oh, the mentoring?
Yes.
No. No, Kate is an amazing actress. She is an amazingly talented woman, and the scenes between Seven and Janeway were some of the best scenes that I had to play, some of those. But no, I mean, it wasn't, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy working relationship between the two of us. It was awkward. So some of the scenes that could play into, and some of the scenes made it more difficult.
Okay. Yeah, well, the best way to put it is, I think the hook, when you talk about PR, press, publicity, PR, the hook in the beginning was first female captain. Okay, so all the press went to Kate, right? So,
and traditionally, in every Star Trek show,
yes,
the press
goes to the captain, which is understandable. But for me, I was the only other actor who actually paid for a publicist. Nobody else did the first 3 seasons. And all I could get, literally, the publicist would call me up. "Oh, Garrett, I've got you WKNBB in Nebraska. They'd like to do a morning interview with you, which means you need to be up by 3:30 a.m. your time to do this interview." So I got nothing, literally. Even on the press that you'd think would go to us, Jon Stewart had a talk show on MTV to begin with, right? And you would think MTV's audience would be Jennifer Lean and myself, but instead they had Kate and Bob Picardo on there. And honestly, those teenagers aren't looking to watch their uncle and aunt, come on thing. I mean, so a lot of the press was kind of like skewed towards that. And the bottom line is, when your character came in, you were the new hook. You were the Borg character. So there was a little bit of, maybe some professional jealousy or whatever it was, but there was a vacuum that was created in terms of press. You got everything at that. And go ahead.
It was. This kind of feeds back into the question that somebody had asked earlier about if it was difficult coming in as the new cast member. And yes, and the other reason, not just because one cast member is being written down, but because when they added this character, Paramount all of Paramount, and their publicity machine was very, very straightforward, and they verbatim said, this is our chance to break Voyager, to break Star Trek into the mainstream media. And so the Paramount publicity machine went into overdrive. Before the character had even debuted, before anybody had seen it yet, the publicity meetings were, I've never in my career since seen anything like that. I mean, for my characters. And they were very, very straightforward about that. They made no bones about it. This was their chance to break Star Trek into the mainstream media. And they were wildly successful in that regard. But that just added to the tensions. You've got, I mean, it was sort of the perfect storm, because you've got a new character being added and somebody leaving. You have all of the attention now shifts to this new character with the press and the media and all of that. Then you've got writers who have been writing for the same, 7 characters, 8 characters, 9 characters, however many there were of us, for 3 years at that point. And now there's a new character. And not only is it just a new character, but it's a really rich character to write for. So they're salivating to write for anybody new, but it's just so that it's something different to write into relationships with other characters. But so then 7 became, if not the A storyline, then a really big B storyline in almost every episode for the first at least 2 seasons I was on it. And so that's hard. That's not easy for anybody. Understandably. I mean, of course that's going to make, that's going to ruffle feathers, and it's going to make other actors uncomfortable. And so I totally get it, but it was handled differently by different actors.
But for me, it was very difficult for me, and I don't really talk about this that much, but for me, it was honestly like watching my mom or my aunt and my sister having issues or tension there, and it hurt. It was tough. And I remember I was telling somebody about this in Germany like a couple years ago, and I started talking about this, and for some reason I just started bawling. I started crying. I was just crying and crying about this, and it hurt a lot, to see that. So just it was rough. I'm sorry. So and my whole thing was I really wanted to be able to have. I really wanted, like years ago when Kate was here, I was trying to get you to come also because I wanted to broker the peace in a way. I wanted to just have people know that, everyone know that it was tough, to see that happening. And the manager kiboshed the whole thing. He was like, that's the worst idea in the planet. I go, what? No, I want to bring people together. I want people I want people.
Oh my God!
Sorry. So. I'm sorry, but it was tough. It was very tough, and my whole goal was to really just broker the peace. And to be honest, I saw her years later, and she did say at one point, she said, all those things that happened with Jeri, I feel bad, and I know that I wasn't right in some of the things I did and some of the actions and words that I said. So she did say that, just so you know. She said that to me. And so that made me feel like there was some growth there, it's just my goal for everyone to be friends and everyone to put aside all the bull crap, from before, because we're all there to do one thing, which is to make an amazing television show, to make amazing Star Trek. Let's face it, Star Trek is the only show on TV that has a message. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there's anything that should be always on TV, it's Star Trek. I mean, there's always the message behind it. It's good television. It really is. And I did not expect to get to this point at this point. But it happened, yeah. So we just take one more question just to end it on a more positive note. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
We told Garrett that because I think that was my first season on the show, and he's not the sexiest man, most beautiful people, but he's definitely one of I would say the 50 most beautiful people
You know what the funny thing is?
Oh my God, the crap he got for that on set.
Well, 1997, so 1998 rolled around and I wasn't in the issue, so the makeup artists were like, I guess you're 132 now, right? Like they would make fun of the fact that they dropped me lower and lower every year, so you're 180th most beautiful, so it's kind of crazy like that. We have another question? We have time for one more. We'll take the one in the front here, how's that? Yes?
Thank you.
She said Jeri's Twitter is amazing. She tweets with astronauts. She tweets about animals. What is your most fun Twitter experience?
God, I love Twitter. I'm a Twitter fanatic. So, there's so many things I love about Twitter. I've made friends on Twitter that I've met in real life who we're actually friends with. I've met their families, we hang out. It's a great way, excuse me, it's an especially great way to interact with fans as an actor. Because when we started on Star Trek, social media didn't exist. I remember they had a chat room. That was one of my first things I had to do was a Star Trek chat room. It was so cool. But this is like, well, it's kind of like that on speed.
Did you go in the chat room?
No, I mean, I'm in the media room at
Yes.
Paramount with the guy on the computer, and I would say stuff.
Like Twitter is like...
But Twitter, and I also have stalker issues, which is why I couldn't do conventions or any appearances for a number of years, because I have stalkers. And so now they have, you'll notice, a very large, burly man with me, my bodyguard. But so I have to have security. He's awesome. His name is Coop, so tell everybody, make sure you say hi to Coop. Detective Cooper, actually, is his name. Anyway, but especially for someone with that kind of experience, this is such a phenomenal way to interact with fans personally, but you're safe. And that I really, really appreciate. And I love how easy it is to connect with somebody and how easy it is just to make somebody smile. You know what I mean? You send them a tweet. You acknowledge that they're a human being who said something to you, and you reply. It's common courtesy. And it kind of makes people's day because they sometimes aren't expecting it.
And it's so immediate.
And it's great.
It's there. It happens.
It's
Real time.
immediate, and it's great. But one of my favorite tweets ever, I met him, I don't know if he's in this panel, he might be there tomorrow. He's really cute, he's walking around as a Vulcan, he's Spock. But anyway, but it was hilarious. He tweeted something about coming to DragonCon, and he said, throw splitter and spins and spins and spins. I just thought that was the cutest thing ever.
But the funny thing is, there is actually an @Garrett Wang, and it's this kid in Singapore, right? So, and I swear to you, he has a link in his Twitter page to my Facebook page. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I go, who are you? He's like, I'm Singapore Garrett. I go, oh. So don't tweet Singapore Garrett. Tweet me with the R in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of our hour right now, so thank you so much.